I wanted to make a new makeup video routine today. I'm actually recording in my living room, so I haven't done that before, so should be an interesting video. Overall, so kind of to start with, I'm actually gonna set my stuff actually here on the corner, so if you see me peek, I'm just grabbing my stuff, and then I have a little mirror that I'm gonna probably look through as I'm recording. So to start with, I like to prime my face personally first. I don't like to put foundation or anything of that nature on before I get my eyes done, just because my like when shadows fall and stuff, I just want to make sure that I guess more than anything my face looks, I guess I always like to say the skin, when the skin looks good, I think everything looks good. It all comes together, so I always like to leave that piece kind of for the last. I will actually prime my eyes. I'm just going to come up closer so you guys can see kind of what I'm doing, but I am going to prime my eyes. If I'm looking down, there's a mirror that I'm actually looking through, so I like to use Urban Decay's eyeshadow primer. I've been using it for years, honestly, and I love the product. I think it's absolutely incredible. So I don't think like there's, yeah, you could just kind of put it all over a little bit. That's really all you need to do. My makeup does take some time, I'm not gonna lie. Usually I think if I'm doing like a full glam, something like I'm gonna show you guys today, it will take me a good solid hour to do my entire face. Okay, so a little bit about the palettes I'm gonna use is, I personally love Morphe's brand. I love this by Jaclyn Hill. This is actually probably one of my favorite palettes I have, to be honest. All the colors are perfect. It's a bit messy, but all the colors honestly are perfect, or they're all very good neutral colors. And I think like great colors also kind of do a very much smoky eye. So for today's look, we'll do like a very beautiful golden look. We'll keep the eyes a little more natural, and we'll do like a heavier contour on the face. Great, I think maybe I would say for a night out, or if there's a wedding or party or something that you're going to, it's a great look for that. Okay, so I have this Morphe M573 brush that I'm gonna use, and the first color I'm gonna pick is actually this mugshot one from Jaclyn Hill's palette with Morphe. It's a great shade, I would say. I think it would actually look good probably on all skin colors and skin types, I would say, for the most part. But basically, I'm gonna put this color in the middle of my crease. So it's basically my transition color. I'm not perfect about how I place this. I kind of put it all over. So I'm not too picky, because I will put another. I will blend quite a bit, to be honest. I'm not too worried about how this one falls in place overall. But this will kind of be my little bit of madness color. So just kind of blend everything through. And I guess do circular motions back and forth. And the key again, I think, is like you always want to make sure you blend right. I kind of take it up my brow a little bit, because I will put like a very pretty champagne color under my brow. I always use the same color under my brow. There's really no magic, I guess I would say, or something unique that I do there. And I like to put the same color under my eye as well. So, and again, I'm not too worried. I'll clean a lot of this up, but I do like to kind of make sure my eyes are even underneath as well. I don't like when people don't put anything under their eye. I don't think that it looks balanced, to be honest. So kind of maybe also more of a preference too, but then I'll do my other eye. And again, you can kind of do I'm just looking at my mirror to make sure everything looks semi-even. Okay, I think I'm happy with how that looks, and then I'll just do under my eyes a little bit. I just kind of do, I guess, everything as I go, just so then that way later. Yeah, you could probably see me, I blend a lot. I like to make sure. I think that's honestly what makes my makeup look pretty decent, because I do get a lot of compliments, and I always tell people, I think for me personally, the biggest thing, or the thing that I do the most, is probably just blend everything. For my second shade, what I will use is, I was thinking of going in my Naked palette, but I do have this, I think it's pronounced Loric. So in that palette, honestly, you could use any champagne color that you have. It doesn't have to be this particular one. A lot of these colors you guys already probably have, but I have this one that's called Unreal. It is the second one to your left on the bottom row corner. So I'm going to use that. I do like to sometimes start placing, I guess I don't really have too much of a method here, but I do like to kind of start placing this a little bit here. And then what I will do is I will go ahead and at least kind of start getting some of this down on my lid, and then I'll actually go back in my crease again. So just again, I think more of a preference thing. Nothing really like you have to do it this way. You could finish your crease completely. We're going to go in our crease again. So perfect. I just wanted to get my lids down. And I'm going to use M433. It's a Morphe brush. Huda Beauty. This is actually my favorite palette from Huda. I will use this color upper here, and then I will mix it with a little bit of this, or usually, and then I also like to put a little bit of that shade in as well. It's kind of like a pinky, but I'm gonna start with these two first. Just dab them both, and just like to make sure there isn't too much product And then I'll basically get in my crease a little bit. So where the magic of blending I think comes together. Again, sometimes I'll finish my crease completely before I go to my lids. I think it's just kind of like it all comes together at the end. But again, you can probably see I blend a ton. I do think it prevents any harsh lines, and just like to make sure the look, you can probably see kind of has like a sunset look. Then what you'll probably see me doing a lot is, like, you can see these corners, right? So what I'll do is I'll actually go back and blend everything, make sure it's evened out. Then what I'll do is I will use a little bit, so I'm gonna do my other side first actually, and I like to just kind of go with both of them as I'm going, because then it's easier when so you can see it's blended fairly well, right? I think when I come up closer, what I was doing this side as well is, sorry, I'm actually looking down if you guys can't see what I'm doing exactly. Just get those colors and blend them right in your crease. It's the lower part of, I guess, your crease. This is a look I think I've been getting a lot of compliments on, so kind of different than my usual. Usually I do, I guess I would say more of like a smoky eye. But I think it's still, I'd say, pretty smoky, just more of colors that I consider a little more neutral. But still beautiful look. Just making sure everything looks good. Sometimes I always say lighting I think makes things look a little bit different, but so that's primarily what I do there. And then now I'm gonna actually go back with that champagne color from that Loric. I think that's how I pronounce it. I'm actually not sure 100% how I pronounce any brand, but then we're gonna actually go back on our lids, right, to make sure everything looks good. So what I'll do is, actually it was such a pretty day and the lighting was so nice today. I was like, you know what, I should create a video today in honor of Miss USA Day. So I just like to make sure I pack plenty on. And I guess I'm not too, I'm really big on my liner, making sure my liner's perfect, because I think that makes a big difference in your lashes. But I do like to kind of make sure I get this on just enough, and then I'll usually go back with the one that I was blending earlier. Just kind of make sure there isn't any messy lines. That's kind of the top. Now for the bottom, you guys saw earlier I did the brown, so I don't like to put too much in my bottom, but I do like to even up the look. So what we'll do is we're gonna use this little angle brush. I've had it for so long, but basically we will go in with that same champagne color that we used on our lid. We're gonna actually go under our brow a little bit, so just so you guys see primarily this area and just under here. I'm gonna do my eyeliner quickly, and that's kind of, I guess I would say, a big next step, right, is the liner piece is huge. So what I do use for my liner, I can show you guys, is I do use Better Than Sex by Too Faced. I love their liquid liner. I just shake it well. I'm gonna actually step aside, put this on, and then I'll show you guys exactly what I did, because since I am recording in my living room today, it's my, I see somebody where the biggest trick for me is my hand needs to be somewhere stable. So usually on the sink, little handle is good, and I'll just usually hold it so my line's perfect. I'll be right back. All right, so I'm done with my liner. So again, I think the biggest trick, I can do a separate video just on how I do my liner, but the biggest trick I think is to have your hand somewhere stable. And then you can ideally, right, I think, I mean, everybody kind of probably heard the trick a lot, but I just kind of make sure I pull my line in slightly a little bit in my inner corner. And then I already put some lighter shadow in my tear duct. So that's probably the main step I would say there. Now, I do believe personally that lashes, I think, can really put an entire look together, especially when you do, I think, a heavy look like this. I don't think it looks very good unless if you put some falsies. So I personally like to use my Yummy by Lily Lashes. It's my favorite brand, without a doubt. I think one thing I do try to do is I do keep the lashes pretty clean, because they are very expensive, to be honest. So I just take the glue off, make sure that I do that every time I'm putting the new, on for like a new look or something. And it looks nice. It doesn't look clumpy. So I'll just kind of basically show you guys, but I just wiggle them around a little bit too, right? Big difference, really widens your eye. And it puts your look all together. So for glue, I use Duo, pretty common one. You could honestly just buy it at the drugstore if you would like. You could order a bunch from Amazon. You could really buy them anywhere, I would say, to be honest, for the most part. So my secret to applying these, I will put my glue on, I'll let them dry for a second, and while I do that, I'm gonna actually take care of my eyelashes. I'll just put this on pretty lightly, or I guess I don't know if it's lightly, just like this. What I will go do in the meantime is I'll just kind of honestly go back and just highlight under my eyes slightly a little bit with those two colors I was showing you earlier. I'll just go right under here primarily. Just around this corner. I'll clean it all up too, but give it a good darker illusion. Under your eye, great way, I think, if you don't want to put a liner on your bottom eye, just kind of fill up the look together. And really, that's all I do for my shadow. I probably use, I would say, maybe 3 different shades, 3, 4, before I actually forgot all the shades I use. Then, so I'll just kind of get closer in for this. So basically, this corner to that. just like that, and then let it sit for a second. Oops. My mirror is really dirty, dumb. Just like that. So it doesn't look, it'll all come together. It'll take a second. And then just your other eye. I think if you just look down when you're doing it, and then you just have to play with it a little bit. If you look at what I'm gonna do, so you want to make sure it goes up, so it opens up your eye, right? It's not closing your eyes. And honestly, once I do this, I kind of let it dry a little bit on my eyes. Once it dries, I'll usually use my fingers and play with it a little bit, just to make sure like these corners I connect to my actual lashes. And that honestly I think makes a big difference, puts the entire piece together. So it is a big piece. You don't want your lashes falling, I would say, in public or anything like that. So, okay, now for my lower lashes. So I don't put any more shadow or anything on my lower lashes. All I primarily do is I use Telescopic by L'Oreal. It's my favorite mascara. I've used it for so long. I think I saw Carly Bible use it the first time when I used this. And I'm just gonna try to kind of get in close here with my, I'm trying to kind of do this so you guys can see, but basically I'm gonna go lightly, not too heavy on my lower lashes, but just get your lower lashes a little bit. My other side. Sorry, I'm looking down if you guys. Like, see, I don't really worry too much about these because I can get them at the end. I just try to get some. Sometimes, if I do want a little bit of a heavier look, I will put a little bit of brown underneath my eye, but this is actually pretty good, so I just kind of look away, but I pinch them like that, and then I'll go back with my liner and touch that piece up a little bit, but look, so if it helps you like look at the other corner, I guess, but basically just like that. I like to pinch that piece together. No, I can use my liner. Let me come back to that piece, so I don't want to. And okay, so for my makeup, I am using Tarte Face Tape. Pretty good full coverage, I'd say. I like full coverage. You can do a lighter coverage if you would like, but so basically I will put here, 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 maybe a little more. Do your thing. For this piece, no trick. Put it on the way you usually like to, and let's see. So, this is what I will do. Just primarily use your foundation brush, and you can. I'm not picky if my foundation goes over my lips. I don't care. Because I'll put lip liner and everything on afterwards, so I'm not really that picky, I'd say. I do get in my hairline, do I? Sometimes I become a little thinner than other reason. I do use my fingers a lot. I don't mind, but it's really a preference. Okay, so for my first step, I'd say, here. Okay. So my first step is kind of, for me personally, I'm not a fan of my beauty marks, so I like to cover them up. If you have any things on your face that you would like to probably cover, you definitely can. I use NARS. It's medium ginger is the one that I use, and it's great to cover any spots. I would say anything uneven as well is probably good. And I just have like a little brush I use. I don't even know, I actually got it from Ulta. I don't even know what kind of brush it is, but it's just like a little, kind of like a little foundation brush, but just for my spots, my I guess beauty marks. I don't like them. It's a personal preference, but I guess I like them. I don't know. It's kind of like when I do, I guess, a full face, I don't like them to be visible. So any other certain spots I have, I like just kind of cover. I feel like the look looks a little more put together. But I guess I do like my beauty marks because when I don't wear makeup, I love them. So when I wear makeup, I don't like something like that putting out in the corner. So I usually just put it everywhere a little bit, especially my chin area. That's kind of where my beauty marks are, so I can just kind of even everything out. Just gonna get a little closer. I'll just cover all this very closely. I got these scars actually on my face when I was younger. I think my sister said I had chicken pox or something. I don't remember, honestly, but yeah, something like that. But I like them. It's like it's part of my face now, so I'm so used to it. Perfect. So what I will use is, I use two different colors. There's like a medium tan and the Studio Fix. I use, let's see, NW25. So sometimes when my tan comes off a little bit, I just use this color. When I am, you know, I guess a little more tan from summertime, I will use this as well. So today I'm gonna blend both of them because my tan is fading a little bit. I did get a little darker over summer and I don't mind it. So I'll just blend these two back and forth. And I just like to dust it off a little bit before I put on my face. And I just dab, I guess, more than anything. Under my eyes, I'm gonna highlight and contour right, so I'm not gonna put anything there, but I'm just gonna keep making sure I got everything. I will bake all of this actually. Like I love baking. I think it makes a huge difference, especially I think like when you're oily or shiny like me, it can make a huge difference. So, but I like to use Too Faced Born This Way is my baking powder that I like. I do have, I guess, quite a few steps I do for my skin. I should probably just do one video just on maybe the skin piece, and I need to do maybe one video just on eyes. But if you guys ever want to just do step by step with me, this is a good way. So you'll see I'll kind of just do these spots. These places get oily too, so I honestly love them quite a bit. I'm using these two shades for under my eye. Depending on kind of what the occasion is, if I want to go really light under my eyes, usually two to three shades is kind of what you want to usually go light if you're going for a very drastic look. I think if you want to go something a little more even and neutral, I would probably just do this for under my eye to conceal, but I'm just gonna mix a little bit of both today. So feeling it. Actually telling my boyfriend, is like, you know what, I feel like getting ready and I should record a video, because I always say I will and I don't end up doing it. But this is a look I've been actually asked about quite a bit, so I thought, you know what, it's Miss USA, I can get ready today and watch my favorite show and get ready with you guys. So dot dot, I'll put a little there. That's really it. So I just kind of mix the two, I guess, together, and then I want to kind of start going in as soon as you can, I think, because I sometimes think it dries out a little. I know that sounds weird, but really try to get the bridge of my nose, blend it out, like, oh, dab, dab, dab. And this is kind of where I go in and clean under my eyes quite a bit, to be honest, is this piece here. So I'm sorry, I'm looking down in the mirror if you guys can't see me, but I'll try to kind of show you guys. And I'll use my fingers a little too, but this is really, like, I think the piece where under my eyes gets cleaned quite a bit, and the look really comes together, I'd say so. So big difference, right? And when you bake, it will all kind of come together, but this is my trick too. I like to kind of go around my brow area, like around the brow area. And then I'll do my other side real quick. Again, you can probably see I get quite in there, but oops. I think I got a bit too close there. That's okay. I'll fix it. I don't get too crazy when I get too close on that. I can always go back and touch up the liner or something. That's kind of my personal thing too. Unless it's like my shadow or the shadow color's off, or like my concealer color's completely off, I'm not too hard about it. Yes, maybe that's good. I don't know. Works. And then my forehead's pretty much easy. So I have a small forehead. I'd say, you know, like I think if you have a larger forehead, of course you want to like probably contour a little more when we get to that piece, but I just like to do it more to kind of like even out my face. But so I'll probably fix this piece right here and just a little bit for my liner. When you bake, I would say try to not smile. I know that's a weird thing to say, but it creases actually under your eye, so just want to make sure you bake without smiling. I've seen people do that, I think. Hold on. bake usually my entire face. I'm shiny, so it works. If you're oily or if you're dry, I don't think you want to bake this long at all. But for me, it works because I am so dry, so, or oily. Sorry, getting my words mixed up today. It's like a clean fluffy brush, and I'll just clean primarily just this area because I'm going to do my brows. So everything else I just kind of let it sit. Sometimes I'll clean this area too because it's been baking for a while, so I don't need to have it. But under my eyes I like to leave it for a little bit, so that's good. Brows. So I have this brow pencil that I have. It's just like a standard one from Sephora. I had just used this little tip to make sure that you know, I brush my brows before I get them. So my brows luckily are pretty thick, I'd say, pretty filled in, but I like to fill in more with shadow because I don't need, I guess I would say, a crazy amount of fill in, maybe if that's the right way to say, but there's, yeah, some people like to do it with the pencils, really kind of total preference, but I'm just using my Morphe palette. I've had this palette for so long. I feel like I use all more, like so much Morphe brand. I'm not one of their like sponsors or anything, but I'm using this, I don't know which color it is to be honest, but this shadow right here. So it works good with my, I guess I would say, natural hair. So you want to look for a color that's close to your natural hair, not too dark, not too light. If you're jet black, you can usually go, when I used to be jet black, my hair, I used to go with a little bit of a darker brow color, but for this purpose, this should be fine. So I kind of like to push my brows down a little, and I like to find the shape first. So my shape is literally, if you guys see me look down, sorry about that, but it's right here. Kind of follow this line here. Sometimes I like to go a little over if I want to make my eyebrows look a little more arched. So for today I'm gonna go a little more arched, I feel like, and I want to fill my brows a little more. Then I don't put more product, I actually just use, there's plenty on the brush, honestly. I like to kind of fill them as I go to make sure it's not too off. You can see I usually pull my line through because you want to make sure that your, I guess for this look too, like just your brows, everything is kind of filled together. So then again, no more product, just same brush, because my brows are pretty thick, I would say, throughout here. So I like thicker brows. Thin brows usually, I think, it's okay. I think just thicker brows usually looks a little more youthful, so it makes a huge difference, right? So then usually what I'll do is I'll kind of go through and brush through a little, make sure it all looks evened out. Maybe that's all for that. Now my other brow, I don't know why I did that, but for this side, so I'm just gonna again down, kind of follow the arch again. So this brow is kind of weird. I feel like because I have to fill it in a little more for some reason than my other brow. But anyways, I've my brow. Connect everything. So sometimes it helps me. I feel like if I start putting it all. If sometimes, I guess, brows, right, I think it's very hard to get them completely even, so it helps sometimes if you start filling as you kind of go, I think. But I'll usually go back and fix something. Brows are a little harder, I think, to fix, but so you can kind of see, try to keep them both pretty thick. The side's not, I feel like, as thick as the other one, just that area. And then, again, no more product, just kind of brush what's in the brush throughout my brow. I have to try to, excuse my, okay. Okay, so those are, I think the eyes, the brows is the most time consuming piece. Sometimes I think the face is usually a lot quicker. The fluffy blush that I was using, I'll just actually use it to wipe everything off. And this is actually the easier part. The hard part is done. I think I would say the thing that probably takes the most about this look is just making sure, making sure that concealer, the brows, and the eyes take the most time. The lips are pretty easy, I would say. I'll probably do more like a neutral lip, but for my, I use this, I've broken this a little bit. So my Studio Pro is this palette that I use. I basically mix a couple colors. So depending on, I guess, what if I'm going, let's say, if I'm taking pictures, or let's say like it's like a shoot or something of that nature, and I want, maybe usually you want to go a little darker, so I'll use this quite a bit, just because you want to make sure your cheeks are a little heavier and highlighted. And then usually on a normal day, I'll use these two a little bit more, which is a little lighter. So I'll just usually mix those two. And sometimes depending on, sometimes I do feel like having a little bit of a heavier look. So I kind of got in the habit of working my way from here back. So I'll go, then I'll come closer, but I'll mainly focus on this back area, if you notice. So then I kind of go here, and go a little under my jawline. Then I mix those two colors, and I'll go up my forehead. Actually not looking in the mirror at the moment, just looking at the camera and doing this. So, but this is a good area if you have, maybe I would say, more of like a larger forehead. You could actually go in a little bit more, but that's all I'm gonna do. I feel like I got a bit blend, secret sauce. So yep, that's really all for my forehead too. And I'll actually do the same thing with my other side. So very much similar. I'll go here, spend most of my time here, and I know I used to do that a lot, but I just like to make sure. So this is actually not very heavy. It looks good for a normal day, I would say. Now to contour my nose, it's my favorite part. I use the same shades actually. I don't like to go very heavy to start with, so you'll kind of see what I'll do. So I'll go from here, literally look at your brow piece, right? So go down a little bit. I like to kind of connect it to my brow. Go closer up. Then the same kind of goes to my other side, so my brow. I like to look at that corner of my brow when I'm doing this. The lesser white space there is, the smaller your nose is gonna look usually. So I like to blend this piece a lot because I don't like harsh lines on my nose. It's my biggest pet peeve. Not pet peeve, I guess I'd say. I just like don't like it to look like I have harsh lines on my nose. So I get pretty close. I leave very little white space in between. So I personally like my nose that way, but it's actually Too Faced. So this Too Faced, it is Beach Bunny, I think is the one. So it's a bronzer and I love it. It's so beautiful. The shades are really, really nice. I think it's actually good for like lighter and more, I would say, tan, olive. Really, I think it looks good on all skin types. So I really like this, and I smile and I get my cheeks. Sometimes I will kind of go, this actually has a little bit of shimmer in it, and I like it, so I'll actually put it around my forehead a little bit, like just kind of, I don't know, just some weird little tricks, I guess. Now my favorite part. So my Becca is pretty smashed, so I just have this Morphe M3 brush, 1.0, and I am just going to highlight my key areas. So, okay. So I'm going to just go here on both sides. You don't need too much, I feel like, and then just go above my lip. My nose is my favorite part, so I have to go right there, just literally down and up, down and up. I feel like, yeah, and then what I'll usually do is just kind of take a look and make sure Yeah. But that's really all. Sometimes I will put a little here, but it's the next step. This color actually by NYX. I don't know what color it is to be honest, but I think it is. I don't know, SPL 810. So this is I think my personal trick when I do my lips. I like to go under a little here and a little over my lip here. I don't go over here too much because that makes, you can tell your lips are overlined. So that's kind of my trick. So I'll kind of go. I think you see more of that top look. Just so you can see, so. So sometimes I love this melted. I'll sometimes use this, but and I'll mix them up. I'll sometimes mix my colors, but if I was going for something very nude, I'll just probably do something like this. For today's look, I'm just gonna mix actually this color with, so I'm gonna put drops. It's very dramatic, I feel like, so I'm gonna mix it with this other color I have just to kind of even them out a little. Lips are a little dry. Just notice it. All right, so this is the final look. I think this would look good with hair down. You could also do usually I think like depending on kind of where I'm going, but sometimes I'll have my hair down like this and I'll usually part it this way, or I'll part like a straight center look, but this may be a good look. I would say, like I was saying earlier, I think it's great if you're going to a wedding, great if you're going to a party or a night out with your friends. It's a very pretty subtle look. Under your eyes, you could do a little more if you want, or just put a little more mascara, but lately I've just been liking a little more of a neutral mascara look under my eyes. So that's pretty much it. If you guys have a specific look or something you'd like me to recreate, feel free to comment below and I'll go ahead and try my best. Thank you. See you next time.